Today is August 15th. The Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the Chicago White Sox. Every game was a nail-biter with twists and turns and ups and downs, but they just keep on winning, and I like it, so let's talk about it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY Jake. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope you're having a fantastic weekend, or we hope you had a fantastic weekend if you're listening on Monday. The Yankees are 10-1 in their last 11 games, or something like that. They just keep winning. It doesn't feel amazing, but at the same time, feels a little amazing. My name's Jimmy. His name's Jake. BBD in the corner. Jake, how are you doing? How was Connecticut? What's your bowel movements like recently? Tell the people what's going on.
James, Vincent, Michael O'Brien, Big Baby, Davis, Mendelson, everyone live in the chat, everyone listening on your Monday, whenever you're listening. How about them Yanks? Bowel movement's pretty good. Little blood today. That's from the drinking. Yankees, man. Yeah, Jim, you're right. It is a weird feeling, and I think it's a couple things. They're winning a ton. 10 of their last 11 series. They just took down the White Sox. You know my expectations coming into this series were low. We had a gimmick game that ended up being really cool for baseball. Kind of the Yankees, although the end result ended up stinking. But, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But, man, the hitting did it in big ways. We had a couple two-homer games. We had late-inning homers. We had all of that, and that's kind of what's been missing. So I think the only part of me that is missing the blinded, crazy Yankee fan, which is already still out, but like the inside honesty hour part of it. A, we've now got bullpen questions, which we haven't had all year. B, guys are coming back, which is awesome, but also, you know, we've had some good juju with the other guys. So, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Gary seems on the way back, and like he's one of the guys. Yeah, we can plug and play that. Love you, Higgy. But you know, there's some conversations about Gio who's on the way back. Cole, Monty, all of that. That's actually just great too. So okay, I'm not even worried about guys coming back anymore. Rizzo, we'll see what happens.
Can I tell you
there.
something?
Can you? Yeah, Connecticut was good. Saw baby Emmett.
Emmett the Fox.
Emmett the Fox.
Don't even be worried about the bullpen.
Okay. Done. Gone.
Chapman's out.
Chappie's out.
Clay Holmes went out.
He was good.
And they were down to 2 starting pitchers. The
Yeah.
bullpen got more work in than any bullpen should ever have work in. I mean they did 2 full-blown bullpen games in the last 7 days. At one point, the 2 full-blown bullpen days were what? One was on August 6th, and the next one was on August 11th. So they were one time through the rotation.
Yeah.
And in one of those games, 9 different bullpen pitchers were used in one game. In the other game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 were used. So, listen, that sucks.
Yeah.
But these guys are overtaxed.
Right.
If it's not like they're sucking for no reason at all. It's a little bit like if you're like, hey, our bullpen, they're a little burnt out. It's like, oh, yeah, makes sense. Adds up big time. So let's get Cole back tomorrow.
Right.
Let's get Monty back. Let's get Herman's kind of on his way back. Sevy or Kluber, they're not fully on their way back. Sevy had a setback. But let's get Clay Holmes back from the IL. Yeah. Chappie's coming back as soon as he's ready. And let's spread out the usage again.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that ties to that, because you're absolutely right. I mean, it's not even a discussion. These guys are being used. It's the fact that we're in the thick of it now. It's go time. There's not a rest or juggle day. My God, how big would a blowout tomorrow be? We'll be in the house. What up? But these Yankees keep playing these heart attack games, which that's a killer, and it's tied to the bullpen a little bit. And I guess the other thing that's looming, and it just have to be honesty hour as Yankee fans, 3 versus Boston in 2 days. That all this good juju, you have a hiccup, that could be a bad thing. If you have a nice couple days, like then it's, you're putting the boat full steam, the tip of it goes up a little bit, you're like, whoa. Oh. Sit down up front. We don't want anything to happen.
Yeah.
How's your weekend?
My weekend was good. Told you yesterday, just built stuff around the house. Katie's really like the builder. I like doing stuff, but sure. I like putting on a game and slowly building something. And she likes doing everything at full speed. And I'm like, it's supposed to be a fun, relaxing Saturday. We build stuff around the house day. So it finally came to like this big console, and I said, I'm going to do this.
Got it.
And she was like, okay, I can help. And I said, no, you can't.
No, you can't.
You don't know how to help. All you do is take over, and then I can't even help you.
Right.
So I just kicked her out. I watched the Little League World Series, and I built this console, and it was great. We built some outside patio furniture, dinner at my sister's. It's great. I've been very happy lately. And for like 3 hours in the morning, it feels like it's not August, and I get excited.
Yeah, how about that?
And then halfway through the day, bam, hot as shit. Miserable, want to punch myself.
Go inside.
Go inside, stay inside, yeah.
It's a solution.
But like this morning, I put a hoodie on, I had coffee on the outside patio with the dogs, and I was like, oh yeah, the good life. And then it got so hot. Anyway, what are even the standings? Is there any website that updates them the moment a game ends?
I think ESPN's pretty close.
Yeah, and that's the other part, which, hey, again, I came into this week.
Jay came into this
wanting
week.
to split the 4 games between the Royal Series and the Field of Dreams game. And then I wanted 1 win in the White Sox series. I came in with very low expectations for this road trip. The Yanks end up outdoing themselves. They win both series. Exciting. This weekend, since Thursday, they lost ground on Boston because they were playing the Orioles, so they won all 3. Oakland did lose today, so I think Boston and Oakland are tied, so the Yankees are 2.5 out of Boston and Oakland. So that is good news.
I know they're 1 behind Boston in the loss column.
Right.
Now.
So the whole AL wild card is kind of up for grabs now.
So yes, and I guess, you know me, Jim. I'm always businessman. That Boston series looms so big right now that my sights midway when the Yanks were up 3-1 in this game, my sights went to Boston. We had one of our buddies text us like who the rotation is going to be for the Boston Yankees series. So I know that's not a good way to live, and let's enjoy this series. This is a huge win against like the most talented team in the American League is the Chicago White Sox.
Why do you think they're not throwing Cole against Boston?
It's an interesting question. Maybe it's just to get Cole. My best guess is it's to get Cole and Monty on different days.
I think so, but I don't know.
But it's one of those tricky things.
Like,
I mean,
why
with
wouldn't
the
you just throw
doubleheader,
Heel tomorrow?
If Cole can throw a good game tomorrow, I mean, maybe they're trying to sneak out doubleheader innings. Like, 5 innings out of Heel in a 7 innings game is more impactful than 5 innings out of Hill in a 9-inning game. Maybe that's the thought process, but that's the best I got.
Best I've got is like combination of Boston's gotten to Cole a little bit this year and like just first game back from a long absence. If you can avoid it not being a very important game, and they're doing it to Montgomery the next day, so it's not the soundest logic. But
which again, that's
I think Jake's right.
I think
they want to separate
get them on different days.
So for the updates, they said that Cole's going to start Monday's game against the Angels. Gary is rehabbing today or Sunday. He went 2 for 3 in his at-bats today. He could return for the Red Sox doubleheader. So I think Jake, BBD, and I said they probably activate him for game 2. It seems like
just easy paperwork.
They get another pitcher for game
Makes
1
sense.
that they can use or something like that.
You might be able to get 2 pitchers out of that because you can 27th man and then you send Brantley down the second game.
So that's I think what they're going to use. Activate Gary game 2. Heel and Monty starting the doubleheader on Tuesday. Rizzo is working out with the team, so I think he's cleared to be around teammates and players again. He's on his way back. Chappie throwing on flat ground. Sounds like no rehab assignment. Will come back when eligible. Sevy's the big one. I think they had Sevy penciled in to pitch Wednesday against the Red Sox to make his return. And he was throwing warm-up pitches and felt something on his shoulder that he didn't like, and now he's getting an MRI on his shoulder.
Scary. Coming off of the TJ, and this is now what's going to be a second setback. So I mean, you gotta put Sevy in your rear view right now, and luckily enough for the Yankees, you can as of right now, because again, the starting pitching and what they've been doing, well, 2 starting pitchers / the other guys coming back too. So yeah, we'll see what we hear about that. Obviously, not much you can do with it. Doesn't look good for Sevy. We'll see on that. And the other one, I see Alex in the chat, and Susan was the best source we got on Rizzo. Rizzo is cleared to be with the team, but they said that doesn't mean he's coming back. Like, there's still a good chance he could either rehab or do something like that. Because, again, he got COVID. He was sick. So we'll see what they do with that. If he gets cleared, though, that's kind of the step. Like, it's Rizzo, it's August. They might send him to Somerset or one of the local teams for a game or two, but
I think
time.
Boone might have had a quote pregame about being optimistic he wouldn't need a full assignment.
Right, probably what they do with Gary, whether it's a day or 2 days.
Yeah. If you get him a warm-up game, who cares?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Someone in the chat just said, how much do we really trust Monty, which kind of hurts my spirit.
Yeah, I mean, you got to let those go. The chat cleaned that up pretty quick because Monty's been really good.
Really good. I mean, he's coming off of being gone for a little bit, so there's a little leash.
Sure.
But it is the only 7-inning game. So if he can only go 4, you have the bullpen for 3 behind him.
And again, it's probably just getting them on separate days, but the interesting part of that conversation is okay, did they want to give Cole the halos to ease him back in and make sure he gets a good start? Did they... I would love to know the genuine thought process. You had to get them on separate days. That makes sense, but why one or the other? I have no idea. And maybe it was lining up for even 3 series down the road that we haven't lined up yet. Maybe it worked out for this series and the next Boston series or something like that.
I'm looking at the schedule now. I'm trying to see if the math adds up to get both of them into the Oakland series.
Right, because
it seems like it doesn't matter for rotation setting stuff.
They have them both in that.
I think
now.
they'll both be in there.
That's seemingly a very important series. There's a Toronto one after that could be brutal. I don't know.
And both Toronto.
Cash, call in.
The way they have it now, they get him in
Booney.
for both Oakland and Toronto.
Booney, call in.
Any other injury updates? This everyone sucks. What's Kluber? I don't even know.
I know Kluber, I think, pitched Thursday or Friday.
He threw in a game.
He had a terrible outing.
I think the stats
got
were
hit
ugly.
around.
I heard his control was awful. He hit a couple guys. So, hey, that's
threw 40 bullets or something.
That's coming back. Health is the priority there.
I think he said he felt good. So, healthy. Healthy.
It's a dumb sport.
And then Clint was rehabbing. He got pulled today. He got late scratch. So, and I think there wasn't an update maybe.
And then Gio, there's nothing firm, right? But
I don't think I've seen anything since the initial setback last week when they thought he was going to be able to come back Wednesday.
Right.
But he's still on track
and that's
before Glaber.
I guess before Glaber.
That was what Susan said to me.
Right, and I guess the concerning part of that would be they gave a bunch of injury updates today, and Gio wasn't one of them. So do with that what you will.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. You want to get into this one?
I think so,
You ready to burn it up?
What a GD series, bro.
It was. It felt
My goodness.
good. It felt, you know what? I don't know if I'm interested to see if you agree. This series to me felt crisp.
Okay.
There was a lot of fast pitches hit hard and then run down and caught. It just felt like high action.
Yeah,
high octane baseball.
The risk you run with doing a Field of Dreams game or a London game or who knows where else they're going to do different sites this year is that something goes awry and it doesn't feel like baseball or whatever it is. I think the Field of Dreams game turned it up to 11. The fact that it was a good game, the fact that both teams were dialed in, and yeah, man, I mean, look who's coming out of the White Sox pen. I mean, Kimbrel, Hendricks, those are the guys you know. The guys you don't know might even be more gross than them. So, yeah, man, the White Sox are super talented. The Yanks really turned it up this series, and it felt at times that they were fighting with one arm behind their back, and they still were putting up a hell of a fight. So, yeah, this was fun.
All right. Let's
Ishkaba.
The first burn is going to be brought to you by Magic Spoon Cereal. They sent me this shirt. I look so cool.
Yeah, I think the people would have lost bets on who's in the polo, who's in the tie-dye shirt.
Magic Spoon guilt-free cereal. It is the best. I'm out, actually. I just finished all of mine the other night. I finished all of the flavor, the maple flavor that I love. 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving because Katie was feeling sick. So I said, if I make dinner, will you eat it? And she said, no, I'm just going to have soup. I said, great.
Done.
I'm going to crush some Magic Spoon
Dad's
cereal.
spooning.
It was almost like awesome.
Yeah.
I was like hoping she would say no and just go soup so I can go Magic Spoon.
Live there.
13, 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving, only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. You can build your own box or get a variety pack. Available flavors are cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, and cinnamon. And they're bringing back 2 super popular flavors, cookies and cream and maple waffle. So go to magicspoon.com/Yanks, grab your delicious cereal and try it today, and be sure to use our promo code YANKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. They're so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Get your next...
Walnuts, maple waffle, legit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Been crushing it.
Yeesh.
Yeah, good time. Good.
Maple walnut, Grammy's favorite ice cream flavor.
Wow. Remember to get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/Yanks and use code Yanks to save $5. Let's hear it, Jake. The Field of Dreams game. I put it in my rear view, but I'm ready to
Right, a couple days ago.
Yeah. On your mark. On your set. And burn.
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. Field of Dreams game. What a night for baseball. And what better pitchers to have on the bump than Lance will make her dance Lynn, AL Cy Young contender versus, are you saying heaven or heen dog? Andrew Heaney getting the pill in Dyersville. Bottom 1, Jose Abreu with a little popcorn. 1-0 Sox. Top 3, give me 3. Another corny joke, but Judge as he deposits 1 to make it 3-1 Pinstripers. But it was Chicago's turn to punch back. Eloy and Zavala, that's fun to say, both make yard calls. It's 7-3 shoe partners. It was the Gardner with the rake on the farm. Solo Gardy party to make it 7-4. It would stay that way into the 9th. Aaron, 2 A's for 2 home runs on the day. It's a 1-run game. Giancarlo, let the rhythm take you over. Giancarlo, 2-run homer for the lead. The Yankees are gonna steal the Field of Dreams, but alas, a nightmare. Tim Anderson, TA7, walks it off on Britain. Yanks lose a memorable one, 9-8 final.
It was a good game. I liked the atmosphere. They won me over. I said on the fan, I said if they lose, I'll hate it, but I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Just very good that the offense kept coming, and they got to a Cy Young contender, and they got to Kimbrel, and they got to Anderson, elite pitchers this season. But Hendricks, I meant Anderson gets to Britain.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, we're at a season where you can't do winning losses, but we are at a part of the season where you hope stuff can matter, and hey, hitting Lance Lynn a little bit, maybe that matters. Hitting Hendricks a lot of bit, that feels like it could matter. Kimbrel, Well, we'll talk about him the next game a little more. But, yeah, man, it's one of those things that's tough. I mean, the writing on the wall for the Heen dog, whether it's Luis Heel, whether it's Kluber, whether it's Sevy at some point, whether it's Domingo, whether it's, Jesus, Davey at this point. No. Heaney goes 5 and gives up 7. And that's tough. And the fact the Yankees are still in this game by the end, Wandy with a hell of an outing, Joely, the bats fight back, and it's the two big dudes. Like, the wins from this game compared to getting the loss hopefully are more impactful come October.
Yes. I agree. Any decisions that were made? Because there's a lot of the individual stuff like we'll get covered in awards, but I was surprised to see, or was that not this game? No, I wasn't surprised by any decisions in this game, really.
Heaney throwing the bullets he was always going to throw.
Heaney emptying the tank. I mean, you're going to get your 5 innings from him. Wandy goes for 2, and he looked kind of gross, so I don't know if that was on the fly or not, but he had a great outing. Well, I guess Zach Britton in for the save. Johnny Laza could have twirled that.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a little bit hindsight 2020, especially, Savala hits the chopper down the line that Wade feels just foul, that he makes a nice throw on, and then you're saying, like, well, if that was there, that would have been a nice play, and it's 2 outs. Instead, Tim Anderson, who's a star of the game, on and off the field, gets us. So it sucks. I mean, after I was tough on Britton for a while, and then I caved and gave him some love, and now he's been shitting the bed since. So
I couldn't believe that they came back. Down 3, Hendricks, 2 outs. I mean, 2 outs, they put up 4 runs. I mean, that still is something. Like, I think, that, like you're saying, even though they lost the game, I can walk away with that and be like, okay, put that in our back pocket. They scored 4 runs off a top-tier closer with 2 outs.
Judge homer, Gallo walk, Stanton homer.
And the Stanton homer was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
First pitch.
It's like his most impressive homer in a while.
Yeah.
Visually.
When his guest hitting feels right.
Yes. BBD, I have a yellow legal pad in the other room, piece of paper. Can you grab that for me at some point?
I will do that in a second. There was a part of me that was very scared when it was Judge coming up in the 9th, but it looked like the Yankees were going to lose. I was like, no result here is good, because if he ends the game, people are annoying, and if he hits a home run, it's a meaningless one. It ended up being meaningful.
Yeah.
So it was all good, but Twitter's dumb.
Oh, sure.
Judge's like runners and scoring position numbers are kind of getting crazy
like
good
that.
this year. You want to move on? Game number 2?
Yeah, I think so. Quick scroll the box score to see if there's anything else. I mean, not really, right?
No, there
Fun
wasn't.
night for baseball.
Yeah, wasn't a lot of like decisions to be made.
Yeah. Britain.
Yeah, as far as pinch hitting or any
Yeah.
of that stuff goes. All right, let's go to game number 2 in Chicago now. On your mark, on your sets, and burn.
Couple things that go well together. Cease and Jameson as Dylan and Tyone return the series to Chi-Town. Top 1, I'm so Gallo, baby, as Joey says a blunt goodbye to a changeup. It's 2-0 Yanks, but we are tied at 2s after Robert Pattinson's one out. Have a J in the 3rd as Judge and Jimenez each get an RBI. It's 3-3. It stay that way into the 8th, and it's Judgment Day in the South Side. The big fella takes Kimbrel deep to go up 4-3. In the 9th, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Chad Bro. Abreu is going the distance. He's going for speed. Tied game in overtime. It's 4-4. Judge brings in ghost runner Gardy, and then, oh my, he got Gallo that one. Pal Joey with the 2-run homer. It's 7-4. Definitely not a scary 10th as Albert Abreu gets his first MLB save. Tyone to some greasers? Been a minute. Litke, Johnny, Chad to Britton, and Albert. Hey. Yankees win the game 7-5 final.
A fun one.
Whew.
Fun one. There's this game at the beginning. I mean, it's 3-3 after 3, and you're like, well, that's like a lot of runs for Tyone to give up after 3, but it felt like every batter on both sides was just hitting the shit out of the ball in this game. A lot of outs at the warning track, so it felt like a crisp 3-3. I don't know.
Crisp.
Yeah, it's
Word of
what
the
I
app.
what I keep going back to.
Crisp.
It felt like good baseball. I think it was good baseball.
I think it was,
Even
too.
though there were 6 runs put up in the first 3 innings, I don't think like either pitcher was pitching awful.
Yeah, it's kind of, it felt like playoff baseball a little bit, where both starter was giving a solid effort but also getting hit, and 2 good starters. Tyone, 3.89 ERA on the year. He's been on his hot streak. Dylan Cease, 4.04 ERA on the year. And then everyone that comes out of the bullpen: Crochet, Litke, Lasagna, Tapera, Loizaga, Kimbrel. These are high leverage, big time relievers. And then Judge gets Kimbrel, and it looks like the replay of the other home run Judge hit off Kimbrel when he was on the Sox. And then it's a Bummerosa Ranch that you're a Chad Green pitch away from just calling it a crisp win. Instead, it turns into another crazy Yankees extra innings.
Man,
and you're praying
and that was, I mean, everyone said it, but O'Neill was saying it in live time. I was like thinking in live time, like Abreu was just fouling Chad's fastball back, just to foul it back. He was not trying to put it in play. He was sitting curve, and I think Chad knew that because the first 3-2 pitch, Higgy called for the curve and he shook it off. He said, and then he called inside fastball, and Chad shook that off. Said, I want to go outside again on him, and he did. And Abreu just flicked it off again, and then Higgy put down curve, and Chad said yes. And I mean, you can see Joe's video. My reaction was the same. I was like, "What? No!
Yeah.
Why are you? Don't!" And then he was sitting the curve, and it's not a good curve, and it just gets absolutely hammered. And a lot of the people that I like reading their takes that are into analytics is like, Chad's got a really good fastball.
Yeah.
He should probably just use that. And it's funny, we've gone from he's a one-pitch pitcher to then, I think in 19, his curveball / slider was like one of the best in the league. Or was that last year? I forget. Was one of the best breaking pitches in the league. And now it's like, dude, just the fastball's good. He's sitting on the curve. They always talk about reading swings and stuff, and I'm not an expert in that, but it seemed like everyone could pick it up.
Right, and the thing that you and I overlap on more than that, and it's David Cohn's speech every game, is the conviction of it. Like, at some point, if Jose Abreu is playing that game and you're Chad Green and you are going to throw the curveball, you can't leave it middle. Either find an edge or even put it out of the zone. And if he walks, I know the risk there is you're bringing up the game-winning run for the next batter, but if he's sitting for that curveball, I think there'd be a lot of pitchers that would tell you, well, if you see a hitter doing that, throw it a little out of the zone so he rolls it over to third base. So the conviction and shaking it off is more of the problem for me. So I don't know, and it's just recently, we're pretty big Chad defenders.
Shaking it off.
A lot of his numbers stand up with elite relievers in Major League Baseball. Recently, the curveball has been the pitch that in the games he has gotten hit, it's been that. So to see that again, it's like, damn.
Hunter in the chat, did Chad shake off Higgy for the curve? No. Well, the first pitch, he shook off.
Originally.
He shook off the curve and said, I want fastball. The next time, Higgy puts down curve and he just says, yes, okay, curve now.
And you can't put it where he put it. Ever.
I just think you can't throw the curve. If you do, you have to throw it out of the zone, but I wouldn't risk the walk. I would have went high fastball because he's late on the curveballs. He's late on the outside fastball. So calling up a high fastball, which is Chad's specialty anyway.
Yeah.
A little bit of a bummer there. And then do you want to do Britain talk now, or are we saving that?
Feels like it's probably saved. I mean, I guess what's important is the quote before the game where, Zach Britton, understands this is New York and what he's doing right now. So he says, I don't deserve to be in a save situation. And here we are in the 10th inning.
Yeah.
Zach Britton in for the save.
I don't know your opinion on that because I know me and BBD were on opposite sides of it. I would not have brought him in.
it's tough. The bullpen is so taxed, and your other options.
Ridings, who they threw in a 2-run game in the 7th and 8th today.
I think
I would have
Ridings
been okay if they didn't use
I think
him, to be
Ridings might
clear.
not have been in play.
Why?
I think they were like resting his arm. I think after the Kansas City thing, because otherwise, he
Abreu or Ridings, I would have went with.
If it comes down to Britton and Abreu, which I do think is the choice, I still think you go Zach Britton. If Ridings, we saw them what they did with him today. Yeah, I mean I'm in on that, but I think they were trying to save him for today.
Yeah, I understand it's not an easy call at all.
No.
But if you don't go Britton, I'm not mad at Boone. I'm like more not mad at Britton, but mad that like this is the case. Like, oh my God,
This
we have
is
a
the
closer.
situation.
We have a closer who's
Closer can't
just
Doesn't
asked
feel
to not
confident
close.
right now.
Right.
But dude, we talk about Chapman and confidence and the confidence that and the mindset that you need
Right.
to be pitching in those situations. When a dude literally tells you,
Right.
I don't deserve this.
I don't deserve this
Right.
in that situation, I mean,
I don't think that's Zach Britton's confidence in himself. I think when he goes to the mound, he says, I'm Zach Britton, I'm going to get everyone out. I think that's Zach Britton kind of giving a nod to Johnny and Chad, like those guys.
It's a little bit of both.
Those guys are having better years than me. Give them the ball. And I think he was trying to do a little New York fan service, and I think the way this game went, they found themselves between a rock and a hard place a little bit.
Yeah. Because now, like what? Nick, where are we at now? And leaving him in for as long as he did, I don't know.
Yeah. Ended up working out. Good, Albert Abreu. You're probably not getting a pride, but
Good stuff.
you could end. You
What's the
mentally
phrase
did.
like birth by fire?
You might get a bonus
Trial
pride.
by fire.
Yeah, but there's someone about being born into.
It's
Forget what it is.
birth
Yeah.
with placenta.
Oh, interesting.
Is Albert Abreu's first career save, so it just shows you the experience
Baptism
level.
by fire. That's the phrase I was
Baptism.
thinking of. Yeah. Crazy game. But
Crazy
fun.
game.
I mean, I was like standing up in
Good
front of my
result. Yeah.
TV, like, going crazy.
And no, I had a sick thought earlier.
Oh, sicko.
Jack Gurry was giving a passionate speech about Nestor Cortez, who we might hear about in a second or two. Like the losses earlier this season were so crushing that like when the Yankees lost the Field of Dreams game, it didn't sting as bad. If they lost today or yesterday, I don't think it would have stung as bad just because like I'm used to it.
So,
Like I'm seasoned.
So I'm getting a lot of people have been giving me crapola because my reactions aren't nuts.
We've been
But,
beaten
like,
down, man.
I tweeted
It's
out.
dog
like,
days.
I tweeted out in game 2. I said I've accepted a loss here. I
Right.
said, so like if they don't lose, that'll be great.
Right. I have a different mindset than that, but
When
we've been through a lot.
when
We've
they
been
were
through a
Britain,
lot.
I was like whatever. Like
Right.
and then yeah, it's almost like a little house money. Like once they get to the end of September, and here's what it is. Once they break into a spot, I might enter
Gotcha.
crazy zone.
Gotcha.
But right now,
Yeah, we're
there's
still,
still a chance they don't even see the postseason.
Yeah, we're the guy in the movie that's like on fire and has been shot twice and like still probably gonna die, but you're like, wow, there.
I really need them to crack into the wild card.
It's Boston games.
I know.
That'd be-
I'm
that'd
not
be-
holding my breath
that
that
would
it'll
be
happen this
nuts.
soon. But once I see that, I go to see
Right.
standings. I see, oh my God, if the playoffs were today, they'd be there. I think my crazy meter will go even higher
Yeah,
because right now we're still on the outside looking in.
right.
But
We're still Ramboing back into this thing.
yeah,
Okay.
all right. You want to go to game 3?
I think so, Jim.
They won
Call you
the
Jim?
record day.
Yeah, a couple 2-tree now.
Yeah, so exciting times.
Exciting limes for exciting times.
Here we go. Game number 3. Burn, Jakey, burn.
Young and tan and tall and lovely, Lucas Giolito, he's throwing to decide the rubber match. And speaking of tan and lovely, Nestor, the lip tickler, Cortez Jr. twirling it for the Pinstripes. In the second, Rugi goes all fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Giolito. Smell you later as Odor hits a 2-run bomb. Make it 3 as the Piano Man tickles the Ivories to score DJ on a double. 3-0 Bombers. Bottom 6. That Andrew Vaughn is one fine piece of ace. Solo Johnson for the Shy Sox prospect, but like a teen using Proactive, that was Nestor's only blemish. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 7 Ks. In the 9th, with the tired bullpen, the Yanks could sure use some insurance runs. Hi there, I'm Luke. Can I help you look into a new policy? 2-run ding-dong for King Louis V. It's 5-1 Yanks. Things got hairy in the 8th and 9th, but the Yanks' pen is mightier than their swords. Nestor to Ridings to Laza to Licky to Wandy. Yanks win 5-2. Take the series 2-1. Let's go, Yanks, babe.
Let's go Yanks.
Let's go, Yanks. That's the whole, deal here.
Insurance joke. I saw that.
Classic insurance joke. Got BBD with the Proactive joke. And it wasn't from this game. I was really happy with, I'm so Gallo, baby.
Yeah, I like that.
Which, the part attached to that was, Joey says a blunt goodbye, because that song is by James Blunt. And it's Goodbye, My Lover. So that was that was a quadruple decker in there.
Wow.
But, Yanks win, man. And again, I low bar and been beaten down by so many bad losses this year that you're right, it was a house money effect. This game was, you were at the casino with the boys, you won a little bit of money, and then you're on your way out, you got your bags packed, you got $200 worth of chips in your pocket, and between you and the cashier is a roulette table. You say, well, we had a good weekend anyways, boys. Let's put it on black. And there's black 17. You got 400. You walk out the door and you say, all right, 1 game versus Anaheim.
1 game.
And the cashier's like, what the hell does that mean?
What does it all
It's
mean?
Mohegan Sun, dude.
What's anything ever mean, you know?
Right. Well, that's the heavy stuff.
You
wrote.
Yeah, I got notes. Okay. Any decisions here do you want to discuss? They go to Ridings in the close game.
Ridings of the storm.
The lineup is steady. I like that. I gave Tyler Wade the make him the starting shortstop speech, and they did.
Yeah.
And I very much appreciate that. And it was smart and good, and I like it.
Yeah, it's a bummer his series ended with an 0 for 5 because his batting average was up to 272, 343 on base.
Well, Estabrook got him.
Stuff happens. Nestor, again, you were going to hear a lot about him. And then, the bullpen Ridings, like I said a second ago, he hadn't pitched in 4 days, I think, which you don't find a lot of guys in the Yankees bullpen with that. And then Johnny Laza comes in, and we kind of liked how that was treated. He was up and ready to go if Ridings let a runner on base. Here comes Johnny. And then, it was kind of future baseball that we don't normally see from the Yankees. They brought Johnny in because it was the meat of the White Sox order. So they wanted Johnny to attack that. And they saved Licky for the end. He didn't really have it. Tough ball. You would have loved to see Judge catch it, but that's a very tough ball. And then Wandy Peralta, man. I mean, never a doubt.
Why would you? A lot of nice double plays by Rugi at third. I don't know if that's going to get talked about. Maybe it will.
Rugi, 3 double plays, including one to end the game.
Yeah, he's looking a lot better.
Rugi Rui.
Yes.
And they worked Giolito so good, man. I mean, that's not really an award, but 33 pitches in the first.
Third of those from Gardy.
I mean, yeah, they did. I think when Giolito got pulled, they did, Gardy saw 27% of the pitchers Giolito threw today or something. So,
yeah.
And that's one of the best pitchers in the AL. I hate Brett Gardner. I don't get it.
Let's
Threw
move on.
101 pitches through 4 innings.
What's he got? Does he got something on Boone and Cashman?
Yes.
Imagine.
Respect. Yes.
I haven't been there.
Wow, Jay, come on now.
It's true. I'm not a big respect guy.
I see pride. I see power.
That's what they say. Let's move on to the second half of the show. Awards, which are brought to you by Cushy Dreams. It's smokable CBD. It's got 0.3% THC, so it's legal everywhere. You can order it now. You can get 1/8 ounce cans or pre-rolled joints. CBD will not get you high, so if you're not looking for that at the time, but you do want to help your anxiety, your inflammation, you know, cure some of that and make you feel a little calm.
Poppy is getting his Cushy Dreams on after this because he thought he brought his Cushy Dreams to Connecticut, but he didn't. So he's sleeping in a hotel room with the girl and his dog and didn't have his Cushy Dreams and was up at 4 a.m.
That sucks. It's a bummer.
So get your Cushy Dreams.
Yeah, go to cushydreams.com, KUSHY. At checkout, use promo code YANKS for 20% off your next order. Smoke your CBD with promo code YANKS for 20% off today.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Jake, you get to go first.
Holy cannoli. Had a couple cannolis this weekend. They were good, man.
You like cannolis.
I love cannolis. They're a Mount Rushmore dessert for me. Wow. James, I am going to be taking.
Don't get cute.
It's a layup. It's Nestor Cortez Jr., man.
Oh, fuck.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Not only does he get the series-winning game, he goes toe-to-toe with Lucas Giolito, who's like a dear friend and colleague of mine, an elite pitcher in the American League. Got to listen to some John and Susan today. Follow at J Sterling Calls. And, man, think about what we're talking about. There's been, they keep posting our IL rotation. Cole, Monty, Sevy, Kluber, Herman. Like really good video game rotation. Nestor Cortez Jr. just dropped 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 punches on the Chicago White Sox. Like the most talented team in the American League. And it's to win the series today. And, I gave my house money speeches a little bit. But, man, oh, man. What he has done for this team this season is truly unreal. I mean, he was like a gag gift of Yankees Twitter. And he's been one of our best arms this year. He's thrown 49.1 of the most important innings for the Yankees this year, and it got the exclamation point today against one of the best teams in the AL.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to get a pride. I had an award lined up called Fuck Pumpkins.
Best start of the series.
Yeah, I thought Judge was an absolute lock, and then I was going to get cute with the second one. But I'll go. I was going to get.
You just told me don't get cute before I made my pick.
Because I wanted you to take Judge because I wanted to get cute.
Well, you're going to have to think of an award on the fly. That's part of the show here.
But I keep waiting. I was going to say, like, fuck your pumpkin award because I keep waiting for Nestor to turn into a pumpkin.
And you got caught doing that junior year.
No, not I. But, I'm like, all right, it's the White Sox.
Right.
If Nestor doesn't shut down the White Sox, it's okay. He's been fabulous, and maybe we knew this wasn't going to last.
He's not good.
He's fabulous. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe we...
He's not good. He's fabulous.
I was, after a kind of a rougher game against Kansas City for Nestor, where he gave up 4 earned runs, I was like, you know what? I mean, if we pivot him to the bullpen for 2 innings, like this is 2-3 innings, that's great. And then he goes out and shuts him down. And I'm like, shit, maybe I got to change my mindset and stop thinking of him as like just a kind of a gag gift.
Right.
But I still don't know. I still don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah, you can't go full all in.
No, I know. But But he's definitely saying that.
Yeah.
Because that's crazy. And he's becoming a blur pitcher for me. I'm just like, after every inning, I was watching it. After every inning, I feel like I was asking BBD, like, how did he get him out?
Yeah.
What happened?
It feels like he's playing 2-out innings. It feels like he's playing blitzball.
Because you know what?
You're like, wait, there was 2?
Dude, I don't know if the stats are true on this, but I think he induces a ton of early swings.
He definitely did his last start against the Royals. That was like nuts.
And then you're left like
Hitters just think they can hit him.
yeah.
This
Let's
game
see.
was kind of the first game of his in a while that wasn't like that for me. He went back to doing some kind of silly stuff with
Some
arm
funk.
angles and
So Anderson, the
timing.
first batter, Anderson put the second ball in play. Cesar Hernandez put the first ball in play. Then you got 4 from Abreu, then 4, then a long one by Fawn. But yeah, he feels like a blur pitcher to me sometimes. I'm just like, okay, that was quick. What did he do? And then he did get cute today, BBD. And when he dropped down and got Abreu with that sidearm, and then just jogged right off the field of those little choppy steps,
Oh, my God.
BBD laughed out loud.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Athletic,
talk about
sexy.
getting cute.
BBD's had a couple Flames tweet over the weekend getting love on the internet. I mean, the shot of him and Odor in the same shot on the field. That's just hilarious.
So it's those two and Jose Abreu just kind of looking
Yeah.
with his weird
It
beard.
looks like one of those animal pictures that gets posted where it's like 2 dogs and a squirrel look in the same direction. That's my internet searches. And Jim, I was trying to think that we always try to quantify baseball in different ways, you know? You've got some new stats that you've been rolling out, talking baseball here. Different ways to look at quality starts and, different efforts you're giving. Like, for me, now that you look at Nestor's game log, I mean, him having that start against Kansas City is so much less important than his 5 innings, 2 earned against Seattle, 5 innings, 1 run against Tampa, 6-1 against the White Sox today. Like, I almost want to try to figure out an importance level. And I'm sure there's some, well, actually, we have a stat, and no, I don't like that stat. So we'll figure it out. But, yeah, man, like if you told us on Monday Nestor was going to drop a 5.24 earned, which we're almost not happy with for Nestor, and have a 6-1 versus the White Sox, like, yeah.
No, it's crazy. Good job, Nestor.
Good job, Nestor.
When's he gonna pitch again?
Let's see. It would be
After Boston, right?
Minnesota. It currently has him the second game versus Minnesota.
Yeah. August 20th. My wife's birthday. I'll be at the park. I won't be able to watch. Pull it up on my phone while she's just not watching.
Strangers in the park.
Ba-da-da-ba-ba, boop, boop.
Just said hi.
Okay, my
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
is Aaron Judge. He had a 500 batting average.
Good.
And a 600 on base.
Better.
And he hit a 2-run home run to make it a 1-run game and
Good.
off of Kimbrel. And then he got the go-ahead hit off of Kimbrel again. And then he got the go-ahead hit off of Liam Hendricks. He hit 3 home runs. He had, how many RBIs did he have this series? 9 RBIs.
It's a niner.
And he had 0 in game 3. Had 9 RBIs in game 1 and 2. And you can see that shit talking like, Judge is coming back. Because after he got the hit off Hendricks, and I tweeted his history of Hendricks because it's funny, he got to first base. And he grinded out on that bat. And the Yankees had just lost the lead because Cole gave it up. And Gardy was the runner. Gardy moves to third. So all Judge needs to do is put it in play, and he just kind of puts one right back up the middle, in between the infield and the outfield. Doesn't do too much, but it scores a run. He gets to second, and he looks like fiery. Like he looks like fucking. You think like that's what you're bringing me? That's what you think's gonna get me out? I like having all Judge piss and vinegar again in late innings. So Judge is my pride of the Yankees because I truly feel like prideful. Like, yes, dude, you're carrying the offense. Like this, sometimes, I don't mean this about Judge, but sometimes with players, their stats are great, but it doesn't feel like that. Especially but like DJ at one point this year, it didn't feel like Judge was like carrying the team, even though his numbers all season have been great. This last couple stretch, it's almost like, you want something done? Judge will do it. It's been awesome.
He had the nice head turn to the dugout after Kimbrel. Like you're saying with fiery Judge, he busts that out. Yeah, man. I mean, he's having a really good year. but it's never felt like he's been on full tilt. Does that make sense? And like he stole a bag today's game. So, I wonder if he's feeling good. He's got a little more help in the lineup now. And with these Yanks actually pushing for something down the stretch, I mean, we could see Judgy have a special kind of final 2 months that would, if he does do that, if he turns it up a half notch, he's going to end up top 10 MVP type season, and we haven't thought of him that way at all.
There's a world where there's some fun conversations for him to enter. Feel free to check the receipts on this, but I think all 4 of his RBIs game 2 were 4 separate go-ahead plays.
4 separate or 3 separate?
I think 4 separate. I think all of them, because the 3 hits I think were each an RBI hit, and then the sac fly.
Sac fly to start the game. And then double to score Gardy. That takes the lead. And then
the extra innings was only 1 in his
Judge
homer.
homers off Kimbrel to take the lead. And then, guard dog. So that's 4 for 4 there.
That's crazy. I was just pulling up something as well. What was Judge's batting average in his rookie of the year, second and MVP season, 2017? Do you guys know offhand? Do you remember?
Like 283.
Very close.
Damn.
Jake's very close.
282?
Just as close.
281.
284.
284. Not just as close.
That's not just as close. That's
Somehow
pretty bad.
saying just
And
as
my
close made me
guess-
think 284 is exactly right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you knew it. You were on the same
But-
wavelength.
Damn.
284. Guess what his batting average is right now? Well, actually, this is not counting today's game.
285, not counting today's game.
286.
I'm always
That's what
one
Case.
off.
That's what Case said. Like, this is a slugger, 26 home runs, and he's got 286 batting average. It's not the Gallo way, which a lot of people act like he is, but that's pretty good batting average. He's been 270s besides last 2020. It was 257.
He played 28 games last year. He's a career 275, 386 on base, 939 OPS.
Yeah.
So
His OPS is finally in the 900s, unless that dropped to today's game. He's on path to having his second best season.
And
of his career.
looking at his baseball references doesn't include today's games, but same number of games as his 2019 season, which was a very good year, by the way. Just only 102 games. And just the strikeouts down, everything a little tick better, and the strikeouts way down.
It's good shit.
good
Which
shit.
I think was a Dan tweet last night, but I happened to be looking at it also.
Runners in scoring position. He's got a 919 OPS, a 318 batting average. Pretty good.
It's good.
Yeah. Where's the other stat I wanted to look at?
The stat.
It was. Never mind. They break this down oddly.
Broken up oddly.
Because I felt like with 2 outs and runners on, it was like still really good, but I can't find it. Anyway, that's my pride. Aaron Judge.
He's good.
Yeah.
Like him.
All right. Next up.
You Yankee motherfucker.
That Kimbrel home run replay, that was cool, huh? You like that?
Same exact shot.
Yankee MFer, huh? Hey, I'm closer to God for a reason. Let's do Zach Britton.
Okay.
Tough series for ZB. Gives up the game-losing home run in the Field of Dreams game, which, again, what would we be saying about Giancarlo Stanton right now if he had a game-winning homer on the most watched game in 16 years? And then he comes out, like you said, and we discussed after the quote, which is just tough all around. And he gets knocked around, and, hey, even outside of getting knocked around, 2 walks, which is like, dog, if they're going to beat you, do it over the plate, and that feels like a lack of confidence, which ties back to the quote, as you were saying. So, yeah, it's obviously not ideal. Zach had been so good in the previous years, thought he was making the turn with all those double play balls, and now it's kind of back to square one with him that again, being in the middle of this, and I don't think the Yankees have an off day for a little bit, right? Like, I don't know when the bullpen is going to get a full reset. Like, maybe it's a cold day, or maybe it's a blowout win or blowout loss somewhere to, like, get a fully refreshed pen. But, right now, 7-inning games, like we talked about, 7-inning games, are in the 7th inning, and the bullpen's getting worked, where we're going to have 2 guys pretty much every night that are almost out. Like, Zach Britton's still going to be in high-leverage innings. Like, you hope they're not as high-leverage, but they're still going to be important innings.
They got 11 games left before an off day. And you're eyeing those Minnesota games as like you need to have some big wins against Minnesota. If we're trying to have big wins and not big losses to rest guys, then it needs to be against Minnesota where you just like crush them.
If Cole,
who's pitching for the Angels tomorrow?
I think Suarez. Is he the
Suarez.
lefty that came out and looked really good?
And he came in game 1.
I knew I had John and Susan on that one.
Yeah, and
They were like, we hadn't seen him. And I was like,
yeah, he was that game. I think he came in for
he
like
came in
4
for relief, and he
innings
threw
or
like
something.
6 innings or something. It
longer
was
than that.
stupid.
I knew it was a
pitch count
long,
wasn't
good
up.
appearance, and I think they let him starting after that.
So we'll see. I mean, tomorrow's going to feel weird anyways, like a 1-game set. Cole making his return, that's kind of cool. Again, in the building. And, yeah, I mean, those 3 Red Sox games are so much more important. So we'll see. I like eyeing Minnesota. Score a couple 12-run games, and that can help. But,
Yeah. All right. My MFer is Andrew Heaney. I was fighting with people on Twitter because they were like, why do they choose these guys? And it's like they literally had no other options to pitch at all.
yeah.
It was Heaney or Davey, and Davey's been awful in
Doing the same
AAA.
stuff at AAA.
And if you bring him up, because the people were still like, who cares? It's like, well, if you bring him up while Davey's being awful, and then he comes up and he's awful in a Field of Dreams national
help.
televised game,
Yeah.
well, that's really fucked up to Davey.
He's no offense to Andrew Heaney, but Davey is somebody who you don't want to feel embarrassed. And
Yes.
Heaney is
22.
gone.
Yeah,
in 2
you're not bringing
months.
22 up who's struggling to struggle on national TV. So I know why they had to throw Haney, and I know that they got to get 85 pitches out of him no matter what. And last game, he gave up 4 and 2, and then he settled down. Not going to happen against the White Sox. But, dude, Haney, like, giving up 3. He's pitched 3 games for the Yankees, and 2 of them he's given up 3 or more home runs. You don't have to be this bad.
Yeah.
I know that you're bad. I know that it's a bad situation, but, like, come on, dude. This bad?
Yeah, and it's we'll see where the road ends, like we just talked about. I mean, with Luis Heel pitching well, I mean, right now Roster Resource has us technically with a 6-man rotation. Cole, Monty, Hill, Heaney, Taillon, Cortez. So
Yeah, I'm really interested. It'll probably work itself out, but do you think they DFA Heaney? Like, what they traded for him,
right now they have Brooks Kriske and Brody Kerner in the bullpen as of today.
so they can move Heaney. But
we're sneaking.
But Monty and Cole are going to replace those guys.
And we're sneaking up on September, by the way. So holding on to Heaney as an asset, in a game where you need, the Yankees are going to have games coming up where you need 60 pitches. And if you're doing Brody Kerner or Andrew Heaney, I think Heen Dog still got him.
What day is it? So it's
15th.
So he's got to survive till
2 weeks,
September. They
basically.
get 2 extra players. Seems silly to use that on Heaney, but
I feel like they should have made the rules like you can just only have 26 guys.
It'll be really interesting to see how the crunch comes down. Again, Nick Nelson didn't get shout out. He's currently in the bullpen.
Because remember, Cole, Monty, and Heel
Right.
are all getting added.
Right.
So then you have to take off. You have to take off Kerner.
Well, can they still do COVID funny business with Heel? Because he's never been on the team.
I think Heel is on the 40-man anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can do one more COVID Heel start.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Kerner, Krisky, Nelson,
Yes,
off.
right.
If
I
you
see what
need,
you're asking
even,
about, yes.
I get what you're saying too, because you could do Gary or Rizzo or even Holmes,
Holmes.
But you can keep Heel for Holmes. But even if you didn't have to, Nelson, Krisky, Kerner.
You
keeps
can
Heaney there.
can keep Heaney on the roster till September to be your 28th man and get 80 MLB pitches out of him whenever you need.
They can't keep him in the rotation when Monty and Cole come back, right? It needs to be Monty.
Especially the guy we're not factoring. I mean, Kluber is rehabbing, which if he does come back at some point, I think that's when the crunch gets really interesting.
And Heaney, I'd assume they try to preserve him. He hasn't shown it in the 15 innings and 15 earned runs he's had as a Yankee, but he has pitched effective major league innings before, which Kerner and all the other guys haven't. So I think he
if you
survives
keep
the
him, but he
initial
just can't be in the
crunch,
rotation.
And-
It's
Yeah,
got to
he
be.
can't be more
It's got to be
than-
Cole, Monty, Tyone, Nestor, Heel. That's your 5 if you need it, and then you have Herman, Sevy, Kluber maybe coming back.
And that's going to be interesting to see. We haven't had a Herman update, have we?
They just said today he's progressing.
Because, I mean, I kind of got excited to have 2 innings of Domingo Herman in the bullpen. That can
some
that
innings.
can save you 2 other high-leverage innings a day. Yeah, and I'm trying to go in Cashman's head because I was going to dig up and be like, okay, who else could they have really made a move for? We were really impressed by Tyler Anderson's game log, the pitcher that the Mariners got. He was like a 5-inning, 2-earned-run machine, basically. I wonder if Cashman's thought process was knowing that this kind of crunch was on the way, that you didn't pay much for Heaney, that
I'm not upset
You
that
were
they went
just-
out and got him.
right, like, I mean, I just wonder if that was Cash's thought process. Like, you know, Tyler Anderson, again, didn't cost an arm and a leg, but he had a much better resume. Like, because, you know, you can't compare Kyle Gibson. You can't compare Barrios or any of that. I'm just thinking of pure rental arms. Because the Heen Dog experience doesn't feel like it's has any way to end on a high note.
I don't even think they started with we can tap into Heaney. I think the Angels said, like, we got a lefty who can eat innings.
Right.
Anyone want him? And the Yankees were like, oh, that sounds like something we can put in our bag just in case. And guess what? Herman went down, and Monty and Cole went down, and
Right.
just in case happened real fast.
Yeah.
Just sucks because he's not performing well at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there was an analytics guy that said we can tap into him a little bit.
I think once the
But-
Angels called, then they said, oh, yeah, and maybe if we do this and this and this.
There's some rolling dice stuff. It's like, yeah, well, if we can do that,
That's-
that would make this a home
That's
run.
what I'm saying. It
but-
was, do we want to give up 2 mad prospects for Tyler Anderson, or do we want to give up 1 for Andrew Heaney, and either
Hope for
way
the
we're going to get
best.
3 starts out of him? So, whatever. Sorry, Heen Dog.
Sorry to the Heen Dog.
Well, he's pitching into some bad luck. It's a 9 ERA, but a 9.12 FIP, so
Good
that's a joke.
good luck in Tampa next year, Heaney.
Moving on to regular awards. Jake, what you got?
Jim, my first award.
Mm-hmm.
Man, couple bodies out there today, huh? I am going to give out the Joe Rogan Award.
I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to guess.
Okay. You're thinking I'm going political as I always do.
No, I just have no idea, and I'm really worried it's going to be you're going to steal the 2 awards I prepped.
Jim, well, that ties in perfectly. There was a day when Joe Rogan wasn't known as this podcast star and everything, UFC, all of that. There was a time when he was the Fear Factor guy. I used to like Fear Factor, man.
You would. You
It was an awesome. They got a couple hot people willing to do dumb stuff, get covered in bugs and stuff. I'm all about that. That's my everyday. That's how I wake up. Jim, the famous line from that show is fear is not a factor for you. And Wandy Peralta, Fear is not a factor for him. We had a couple laughs in the office today because Wandy's facial expressions aren't those as the normal reliever. He doesn't have the, like, mean face or that. He's kind of, it looks a little aloof. It kind of has a teddy bear vibe to it a little bit. And he came in and he threw a lot of big innings this series. He had the 2 in the Field of Dreams game where, again, he looked gross. He looked disgusting in a day where some of the best bullpen arms in baseball were on display. And then today he comes in to save Lucas Litke, and he gets the save today in another scary game where White Sox has ducks on the pond, tying runners at the plate. We're having Tim Anderson flashbacks and all of that. And by the way, he pitched in the middle game too, a shutout inning. So Wandy Peralta, it's not your classic reliever, comes out, tough guy, play the meanest music you can, and here you go. It's a little bit of a kind of a quirky teddy bear. But, man, he was gross this series, and if we were ranking bullpen guys after this series, Wandy would have probably went up like 3 spots.
Ooh. How's he doing in San Fran?
He's in AAA.
Talkman?
He DFA'd about 2-3 weeks ago,
So-
2.5 weeks ago.
Talkman got DFA'd, and
he
Yankees have
accepted an
Wandy for
assignment
this
to
year and
AAA.
2 more years. I mean, I like Mike Talkman. I'm not trying to be rude to him.
No.
But a lot of people were really upset not understanding the trade at all.
Yeah. Mike Talkman didn't get the save this series.
They trust Wandy. It's weird. I don't know if I do. I think it's like a pumpkin effect for me as well, but
We had another conversation about that. I think they're trusting Wandy out of necessity.
yeah, but
But-
still.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's dumb's not the word. We use dumb a little more loosely than other people. Weekly dumb. Check it out tomorrow. Wandy's almost has blinders on. Like I think Wandy Peralta would pitch in the spring training game the same way he'd pitch in a World Series game. Like, he's going to go out there and be Wandy, and if it works that day, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Out of the 26 outings he's had as a Yankee this season, how many do you think have been scoreless?
26.
All right, they traded for him in May.
I know.
Early May. His first game with the Yankees was May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
20.
21 out of 26.
Blackjack.
Actually, 27. This doesn't
today.
count today's.
And he was scoreless.
And it was scoreless today.
So 22 of 27?
22 of 27 outings
pretty
have
good.
been scoreless for Wandy as a Yankee. Now, his usage chart. How many times do you think he's pitched in the... What inning do you think he's pitched in the most? Wandy Peralta.
The Moths. I'd guess like 7th, but is it like 8th or something?
It's 8th.
Jesus.
10 of his appearances this season. So that does count his first 10 with San Fran.
Sure.
But they only used him in the 8th once. Okay. So that lowers the rest a lot. So he's 9 times for the Yankees he's pitched out of the 8th inning.
And by the way, we did this when he got traded over, but I mean, Wandy Peralta does have some analytical stuff that the Yankees nerds definitely did want to work with. So we'll see where the ride ends. I mean, if the Yankees do get Wandy Peralta is definitely, for me, if the Yankees end up in a 5-game playoff series or a 7-game playoff series, like, he's going to end up in a crazy 5th inning of one game where you're like, holy crap, this is Wandy. And I think he could have a moment there.
Out of, do you think majority of his appearances have come while the Yankees are behind, tied, or ahead?
I'd say it's divided by 3. It's all equal.
It's tied.
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
of his appearances have come while the Yankees
Tightrope
are tied.
Wandy.
4 tied in the 8th.
Tied in the
Stud.
That's wild, huh? Or 3 tied in the 8th. I don't know.
wild.
What do you got, kiddo?
Man. Good award. Wandy P. The Joe Rogan Award, because fear is not a factor.
Fear is not a factor for him.
I am giving out the Looney Tuner Award.
The Looney Tuner Award.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some Looney Tunes.
The Looney Tuner Award.
It's not Andrew Velasquez. I'm between two guys right now. Can I get a double guess? I never do a double guess.
Fine. Double guess
It's
it.
gotta be Gallo or Rookie.
0-4-2. Wow.
I got a third, but I
Do
already used
it
two.
third. Do
I
it
already
third.
used, no.
Whisper it.
No.
Say it with your eyes to BBD, and then he'll guess it for you. BBD should also know this.
I mean, Jimmy told me an award he was going to give earlier.
He knows. Do you think that's who he said to you?
I lean no.
I'd lean no, too.
Okay. Well, Looney Tuner, you can find them on the internet. And if your piano's broken in the Bronx, so shout out, it's actually an ad, you can head over to Steven at Looney Tuner Piano Repair.
That was a sharp right turn.
If your
Shyamalan.
if your piano happens to fall on someone
Yeah.
and they don't get nicked at all,
Oh, yeah.
but your piano is just absolutely busted,
Yeah.
you go to Looney Tuner in the Bronx.
I mean, I know, now that I know it's Looney Tuner in the Bronx, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Yeah. Since Brett Gardner got moved up in the lineup to the top of the lineup,
I hate Brett Gardner.
in his 100 and in his 26 plate appearances in the leadoff spot or the 2-hole,
Yeah.
he has seen 120 pitches. That's a average of 4.61 pitches per plate appearance, which is amazing. The best in the league pitches per plate appearance is 4.56, I believe. And that's also Brett Gardner.
Right.
Minimum of 100 or minimum of 250 plate appearances. Brett Gardner averages the most pitches per plate appearance and at bat. And in that stretch where he's seeing a lot of pitches, well, what good does that do if you're not productive?
Yeah.
He's got a 318 batting average of 423 on base percentage. A lot of people, me included, I think everyone. I don't think anyone would have been like, yeah, sure. Guardian the tool, let's do it. But, Jesus.
It's battling. Especially him judging Gallo now.
Now
It's a pitch festival.
Now, this isn't going to last. I don't expect this to go the rest of the way. But if it did, it'd be awesome. But, I mean, for right now, I think I gave Guardy the We're Going Streaking award a while ago. Streak out. Like, just keep him there. Why not? He's seeing so many pitches. I mean,
while it's hot and before we get some other big guys back.
Yeah, Rizzo will be there as soon as he's
you
back.
can't risk the Guardy 1 for 11 when
No.
Rizzo, Gary,
Rizzo will be there,
Gio's
right?
back,
Rizzo will be there. That's
It's an
great.
easy Rizzo
so ride it out
slide.
till Rizzo's
Right.
back.
Oh, and
once
just pass it on.
and then go do it from the 9-hole or the 8-hole, whatever. But man, yeah, I mean that's and I did not even mention the catches he was making in game 2.
Yeah.
And he had one in the the Field of Dreams game, I think. Chasing down balls.
In that Red Sox series, I think you gave him the Through the Quad and Into the Gymnasium award.
Yes, going streaking.
Makes sense. Yeah, man. You and I, obviously, we're Guardy defenders to a degree because there's kind of the catcher effect. We say with Gary a lot. Compare Brett Gardner to center fielders, and you're going to be shocked by the numbers. There are not a lot of productive center fielders in Major League Baseball. And, Jim, I know we've been throwing out different butter knives. His last 21 games coming into today, 281, 382, 803 OPS while playing center field. There's only a handful of guys in baseball that do that from the center field stretch. And we've been on here and we've been honest this year. We're like, hey, we don't know if Guardy's going to have a hot streak this year. But every Yankee fan knows, even the ones that hate Brett Gardner's had hot streaks in him every year for the past 15 years. And he's having a little heater.
And that doesn't even include today. He went 1 for 3 with 2 walks.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Eat a bug.
The piano man. Do
Worked
it.
a 12-pitch
Sing
walk
us
today
a
against Lucas
song.
Giolito out in the 4th.
Just open it up. Whoops.
That's my award. Looney Tuner award. Shout out, also an ad.
Yeah, damn. I had no idea.
Yeah, really threw you for a loop.
It's a great award.
I was going to be very upset
Yeah.
if you took that one. That's why I didn't even want to guess on Joe Rogan, because I had the F Your Pumpkin and the Looney Tuner, and I usually don't come with two fully prepared awards, and I did today. So I'm glad you went Wandy, which was a good award.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So was Nestor Pride.
I was scared when you called it the Joe Rogan Award, because I knew he had a Gardy Award lined up, and Gardner looks kind of like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that was a bald thing.
Guys.
Short bald,
bald. Yeah, short bald. Yep. Same short bald Jack. Yep. But Jake's awards never make sense. So.
The Looney Tuner. Sorry, we all had that teed up.
Piano repair.
Speaking of, yeah, Jim, mine also connect at the end too, and that's why I'm giving out the Looney Tunes Award.
Stealing my Looney Tuner thunder. Diluting my award.
No.
Great strategy.
This is adding to your award. This is fuel to the fire. Give me something I desire. This is how people remember your award.
Rookie.
You had two guesses.
Well, you can't say the other guy because it's very offensive.
It's Joey Gallo. We are learning what Joey Gallo still is. You know, we've heard all the different rumors, whether you're in baseball or you just heard about him from the deadline. You know, unlimited power, you know, freak athlete. We've seen him running now. Even when he wasn't hitting, I was enjoying the at-bats a lot because he was fouling off more pitches than I expected. You know, I talked about it. A lot of these OBP guys are doing they see a couple down the middle and you're like, oh, why aren't you swinging at that? Joey Gallo hasn't had a ton of those. Man, this series, how's your 2-homer game in a game that went 10 innings? You know, we mentioned how many RBI Judge had. Judge had 4 in that game. The other 3, pal Joey with 2 homers, one of them as majestic as a home run you'll see. And I just think he's a little bit of a Looney Tunes character. Like, he's got this all-world speed. He's got this all-world power. He's got the Roadrunner hair kind of going on a little bit. He kind of gives me Looney Tune vibes. So I'm going with pal Joey, who deserves a shout-out. Huge game 2 in this series, and we're still kind of absorbing what is he going to be for us. And, you know, he had 2 walks in the Field of Dreams game, one that set up Judge. So, yeah, I'm going pal Joe on it.
What was he today? 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts?
Yep.
His numbers since becoming a Yankee are interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's take out that first Miami series altogether, all right?
Okay.
And say once he got comfortable.
Because that was the Rizzo series, you know?
Yeah, once he got to the Bronx and he got comfortable, he's got an 835 OPS, but a 190 batting average.
Which, by the way, those aren't crazy off from his career numbers.
So let's take out the Baltimore series.
Oh,
because
yeah.
that was his first series at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
He was still getting
He's
comfortable in
feeling
the
the Rizzo
pinstripes.
stuff.
Since then, 981 OPS, 400 on base percentage in those 9 games. Yeah, so I posted a video of him, the funny faces that he made on Twitter, because there was a loud bang and he made a face. He said he was sorry. I didn't know that he has facial tics. People are so quick to be like, nice job making fun of him. It's like, I didn't know he had him. So how could I be making fun of him for that? Now that I know, I understand it comes off different than before.
Sure.
My bad. I still don't even know if it was because there was like a loud bang and he just made a funny face. Then said
He might have been reacting to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know if you see him making funny faces. I guess he suffers from some form of facial tics disorder, and he says that while he's on the field, it's like really hits hard. He's always making funny faces.
Yeah, I was just going hair with the Looney Tunes. And by the way, Joey Gallo, dropped down a nice bunt.
I like that.
Still winning over the uncles. And Sterling was going nuts because to lead off an inning before your huge power hitters.
He did something I love.
And man, when that middle of the lineup is just going to become an absolute meat grinder for pitchers. We saw Rizzo go through it. Gallo leads the American League in walks and strikeouts. So, future of baseball.
Also, on the subject of the bunt stuff, I think a lot of people probably he's
bunt
the
stuff?
number one guy people will point to and be mad at that they don't bunt down the line. I think he leads the league in bunt singles especially. And then once you take out the guys who are bunting for hits.
Where it's okay.
What a
that
nice
was to lead
party
off
trick.
the inning, but eventually there's going to be times where you don't want him to bunt and beat it.
Right.
And you say, no, dude, we're at Yankee Stadium, and there's a short porch there, and we'd like you to hit
But
that.
that'll be...
In Chicago, leading off an inning?
You hope that's one of the party tricks you use in the right time. If you're in a little slump or, if the Yankees need to push, they're in a tied game in the 8th, and Judge is behind them, or Voit, or Gary, not a bad play. What's your final word, Jimbo?
Jim
Buck, too?
I was deciding between
Jim or Fredette?
a couple things. All right.
Jamalama ding dong.
And I just don't know which conversation I want to have the most. So let me just get a couple things in order here.
A couple things in order.
Yeah, there's two guys I want to talk about, but I don't know how.
There's a couple guys, man. This was a big set.
Yeah.
A lot of guys we still haven't discussed.
Okay.
Here it is. Listen up, everybody. Big award.
Big award.
Big award coming.
Bertier and Campbell Award.
Wow. Doubling up. I love it. I love it.
You already gave both, right?
Yeah.
So it's fine.
It's clean. Yeah. We're towards that part of the show. Bertier and Campbell. Man. I said I was going to rewatch Remember the Titans the other day. I obviously didn't. I forgot for about a week, and then I texted you guys asking what movie did I forget, and then I still didn't watch it. Going to watch Ted Lasso tonight. Excited about that. So you're looking for what? Buddies here? Buddies you wouldn't think are buddies? DJ and Rugi? Something like that?
No. Think about it for more than a second.
I didn't even think about it.
Think about it for just like a second.
What do you got?
Or plus.
What do you
Left
got?
side.
Strong side. I don't even know what our left side is right now,
It's
though.
Rugi and Wade.
Gotcha.
It's Rugi and Wade.
Yeah.
Our starting third baseman is Rougned Odor, and our starting shortstop is Tyler Wade.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't supposed to be the starters over there.
Whoa.
So Rugi's learning on the fly third base and actually made some plays. He made one today that sets it back a little bit, but he's made some plays where he just looks comfortable.
Yeah.
Today he made 2 plays. Now I'm thinking about that. I think he, didn't play like a third baseman.
I'm reclining the rest of the BBD.
Hell yeah. But, man, I want to talk about Rugi. Fullest of 180s in the history of 180s. I fucking love Rougned Odor. I'm so glad he's going to be on the team next year.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that
Non-facetiously.
so earnestly. He's not even hitting well right now.
Had a homer.
He had a homer today.
Today.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he's
Yeah.
got like a 680 OPS in August. Like he had a great July, but I love Rougned Odor.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of awesome. And I hated him so much at one point. And I straight up think he's awesome now. He's playing third base, and he said he went out and practiced, and he's doing a damn fine job at it.
Wearing his sexy glasses on day games.
Yeah. And then Tyler Wade finally gets some run, dude. We did a whole thing on here where I was saying, I think you weren't, I don't know if I think you were away because it's after trade, and it was just me and BBD, and I counted how many times the Yankees had started Tyler Wade in a row.
Yeah.
And he had never started 6 games in a row in his career as a Yankee. And I said, because they never give him a full chance because they don't believe in it. And I didn't fully care that much. I was just saying, when people say, how come they believe in Tyler Wade over Hoyt Park? I'm like, they don't.
Right.
They're burying Wade. Yeah. They're not letting him shine. And partly because he hasn't really earned it in the small sample sizes. So it's not shots fired at anyone. I'm just saying they never really let him go.
Yeah.
And now he has started 5 games in a row. So if he starts tomorrow for the Angels, I believe it was 5 was the number, right, BBD? I believe.
I think 5 was the most.
I believe it'll be the most consecutive starts Tyler Wade has ever gotten in a row. Now, is that dude for the Angels a lefty?
Yes.
Fuck, they might sit him.
Velasquez season.
Play with Tyler Wade. Just play him at short. He's battling, dude. He got a base hit off Crochet.
Yeah.
Or is it Kopech?
I think he got one off Crochet, right?
Crochet, yeah. Garrett Crochet. I mean, that's a lefty.
Yeah.
And it was a nice piece of hitting. He has a rougher day today at the plate, but I just feel very happy for him.
Yeah.
Because, man, he's been on the team for, this is 17, 18, 19, 20. This is his 5th season. He's never started more than 5 games in a row. I hope they do it tomorrow. And now that I'm saying it, I think they're not going to because they have a lefty pitching. But, man, I mean, it's nice for him. I feel very happy for him and Gardner and Rugi and all these guys that are helping the Yankees win in this stretch right now that I personally, so I'm not pointing fingers at fans because I was like, well, I don't believe in them either. It's really cool.
I have a Tyler Wade thing.
What do you got, PBD? Because I obviously have Tyler Wade things.
Game 2, the Yankees had 10 hits. 9 of them were from the 1 to 5 spots. The other one was Tyler Wade.
Okay, I like
Rest
that.
of the bottom of the order kind of gave us nothing.
You know, everybody used to talk about August Gary, right?
Yeah.
Can we talk about August Tyler Wade? 279, 342, 769 career in August. So watch out for that. Yeah, man, I know BBD was tweeting out like we forget that Tyler Wade is actually young, and sometimes it takes a while for players for it to come together, and especially when you're not getting run. Like, as Jimmy's talking about, look at the game log. Go listen to John Sterling talk about Tyler Wade. John Sterling's watched a damn lot of baseball. Like, when they say someone, I always love the phrase when they say someone forgets
He's forgotten
more
baseball
than you'll ever know. John Sterling, well, actually, it might not be true because he doesn't forget a lot. He talked for a while about a conversation he had in 62 today. But, man, good for T. Wade. Who knows what it turns out to be? I'll say this about Wade and Rugi, and I'll tap in Sterling again. Those are guys you have on winning teams. Tyler Wade has incredible speed and can play every position. Rougned Odor brings what Rougned Odor brings. It's a blind confidence, a power bat that seems to come through at the right moments. He said, John Sterling, again, more baseball has ever been watched. Might have watched the most baseball ever. I guess it depends on his spare time and stuff like that.
He's up there.
But he's up there.
Who's the...
He's 99th percentile.
Who's the lifer coach?
There's a couple.
We were trying to guess his name in the office the other day.
Lifer coach.
Oh.
Old.
With who?
No, I guessed Connie Mack, or was it?
It was Connie Mack.
Connie Mack might have watched more.
Connie Mack might have had. Well, he couldn't watch on TV and stuff. So, like, maybe Sterling's got him there. Either way.
Sterling doesn't watch on TV.
Yeah, he says he watches the other games on TV when he gets home.
He's flipped.
Isn't that crazy? He's such a stoner.
Big time. Same. Cushy
I
dreams.
think he listens to a lot of other games because he's a radio guy and he likes listening to other radio.
Okay, so maybe he's listened to more baseball. Anyways,
Watched a lot.
He said Rougned Odor is a guy that you see on a lot of championship teams. Maybe the comparison this year in basketball would be Bobby Portis, like someone who just goes and does their thing. Some nights it works, sometimes it doesn't. Rugi's been awesome. They're both players in their roles are on winning teams. Mm-hmm. And hopefully the Yankees full team gets back that they can be in their roles.
Yes.
Jim, at the end we burned through guys we kind of didn't talk about too
When
much.
did Sterling start? In the 88?
1888.
It was the late 80s, right?
With the Yanks, yes.
He had some Atlanta years. And
He told a story from 1963 today, conversing with Moose Scourin and the gang like it happened earlier that day.
So 32 years, and even with the shortened years, I'm just going to let it fly because there might have been
playoff games and
it calls a lot of
32
spring
times
training.
162 is 5,184.
It's a lot.
And then we have spring training in there. That's like another 30 per year.
Sure.
He gets the playoff games because he's on radio.
Dude, it might be close. I don't know if anyone's ever.
He is 99th percentile of people who have watched baseball.
Connie Mack managed 7,755 games.
That's a lot.
Connie Mack managed more than we just did for John Sterling. So he definitely saw those games.
No TV, Connie. Catch up.
Yeah, right? He definitely didn't see another game.
No.
Ever.
He couldn't.
He couldn't.
He was
no
at games.
TV.
I think Sterling would tell you all these road games don't count as him seeing them.
I've got something that'll shock you a little bit.
Yeah.
DJ LeMahieu, last 11, 362, 444 on base, 976 OPS.
Well, he's going down the right field line like a nut job.
No home runs.
Do you care about that? I tweeted out, is DJ actually back or not? And a lot of people, or some people responded, said once he hits a home run. And I was like, I don't know. Like, these shot, and the one in the Royal Kansas City should have been a home run. So
That's
like,
the thing.
What's
You know how much I love those swings in Kansas City. Going back home to Yankee Stadium, especially a big series against the Red Sox, if he could find the porch once or twice on this homestand, I do think that's impactful. Because, like you're saying, we've ruled it out. And this is a guy that did hit some home runs. He was near a 1 OPS the past couple years.
Sure, juice ball year helped, but
Right.
he's been
So, like, no,
elevating
I don't
balls, hitting
need that
homers.
from DJ. I'd like it to be in his arsenal. Like, the dude hit a home run off Ozuna that should have been, like, could have been a Yankees, like, all-time home run. So DJ kind of low-key rolling. Giancarlo, a similar situation. He hits the home run that could have been a shining moment. Luke Voigt put a charge in one today. The numbers on the series aren't great. Higgy, rough series. Gary coming back will be nice.
People are mean to Void about the drop pop-up thing, which, like, fair in the moment.
fair?
Sure.
I mean, it was a blessing because they got double play.
Double play.
Yeah.
All right. There's
Yeah.
not even a baseball life close to Connie Mack.
Connie Mack.
He managed 50 years. The only one that like might be getting up there, dude, is Don Mattingly. Might be getting up there because he had a 14-year career.
But
right?
he's got to be he's youngish still.
Yeah, but so that's 1,700.
Dusty and LaRussa have to put Mattingly under the table.
Yeah, but I think he's our best shot.
He's on pace for it.
Yeah.
is
I
what
think
you're saying.
Larissa had a 10-year no managing.
Right, he took
for
a
Lewis.
time
He's
out.
part of front offices and stuff, but
Sure.
He didn't watch shit.
Donnie's still 60.
Donnie would have to. He'd have to go a long time.
He needs at least another
Leave
14 years.
Leave a
managing.
5-star review and tell us who you think has watched the most baseball ever.
Right. It's probably some woman in Queens.
Yeah.
And her name's
Well-
Susan Waldman. She doesn't live in Queens.
Yeah. Probably some like sicko in Hawaii who just watches from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day.
Yeah, there's like a.
They go East Coast to West Coast.
There's like a
every
career
night.
bartender count.
Yeah, maybe. If they're watching.
Yeah.
Not passively.
Have to be a bartender that like locks in.
Dude,
Probably
Joe
doesn't get a
Torre.
great career.
Vin Scully.
Joe
Torre's
Oh,
got a
Vin
case.
Scully's got Sterling beat.
Scully's got a case. Yeah?
Yeah, Vin Scully's got Torrey beat.
Well, it doesn't just have to be calling games.
Yeah, but I mean, you can count that.
Right.
But that adds in.
Right, we can numerically count that.
It's
I
what
mean,
we
when
know
did Vin
about.
Scully start? 1950? Right? I mean, he was 1950 till 2016. That's 66 years. I know it was 154 seasons for a while, but I'm gonna just do 162 because then you count playoffs basically. That's
Right.
10,000.
He's got a case.
Oh,
Zoom
I
between
think Vin
spring
Scully
training
might
and
be it.
Vin. Not bad.
See, he's lapped Sterling. Sterling's at 5,000. Is that what we had him at?
Yeah. Vin Scully, holy
Thanks,
shit!
man.
Because he started when he was like 10 years old.
How long did Rizzuto live? We'll come up with a list.
Yeah.
We normally don't know who I think would love this question. We normally don't like to bug them. I think like Kay and Curry would love this question.
Just trying to figure it out. They probably know offhand.
They probably have narrowed it down to like 5 dudes already. And they for sure have Vince Scully.
Joe Torre has Sterling beat. He played plus managed 6,658 games, Joe Torre. And that doesn't even count games that he sat on the bench for. And he was a backup catcher.
Right.
So he was there.
So up that by he's probably at 7,000 easy, Joe Torre.
Backup catcher, he had to be locked into what was happening.
How many do you think we've watched?
Couple.
All right, we got to go.
Turn on a couple screens. Harry Carey. All right.
Oh, hey, little programming update for those still listening. Tomorrow they're playing one game against the Angels, and then Tuesday they have a doubleheader. So the midweek show on Tuesday, we will first do a one-game recap of the Angel series. Maybe we give out an award. Do we do awards?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
See what
We'll see what it feels
We're
like.
going to talk about the Angels
But
game.
we'll definitely recap the Angels game.
We'll do a Sharpie.
Then we'll do a Sharp Stats. Then we will do the pregame show for the first game of the doubleheader, all in one show.
One shot.
Someone said talk about Litke. He needs a couple days off just like everyone else. I mean, they used him to start.
He wasn't on a team last year.
Yes.
Or the last 6 years.
Yeah.
The whole bullpen could be refreshed.
Whole bullpen needs a vacation real quick.
Yeah.
They could use somebody throwing a CG.
God, that would be so badass if they start doing... If they can get to the point in September where they can, like, each bullpen guy has a vacation week.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Be nice. All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.